So this assignment is to analyze two posters, and this is the pair I picked because I really like the show Stranger Things, and I haven't seen Jaws, but I've heard of it and can kind of figure out what it's about. So we're supposed to come up with a deep analysis, and so I'm looking at these, and obviously they're supposed to look a lot like each other. Uh, it's not the same font, but pretty similar and almost identical layout here. Um, so I don't think, I mean, that's pretty obvious that that this is kind of a rip-off of Jaws. And I think the show Stranger Thing is set in the same time period when Jaws was playing. Uh, I'm not sure. And then both, I guess, a main theme is things lurking beneath the surface. Uh, and I don't know, that doesn't seem particularly deep. I think that's pretty obvious. So maybe I should look at some stuff that's different. Uh, and so one thing that I'm kind of thinking about how they're different is nature. And so the shark is scary. You know, it's scary kind of nature, but it's supposed to be there. Sharks live in the ocean. Whereas this creepy plant thing in Stranger Things, like it has teeth and plants, right? It's like wrong. It's not supposed to be there. And that's kind of the whole idea. They call it the upside down in the show of nature, or just like this whole other world that's kind of wrong. So maybe sort of a thing to look at is nature is wrong or upside down, because that's what they call it in the show. And so I'm also looking at these figures here, and this is clearly a very feminine figure swimming. You can see her breasts and everything. Whereas this image here, I think it's the character 11 in the show, but it's like really hard to uh, tell. It's the figure's wearing a dress, but no breast, totally flat, no hair. It's kind of alien. So we have the plant, and then we have the human, kind of alien and genderless. Um, and yeah, and like if you look at the ground here, uh, and there's an image here, a reflection, and that's kind of wrong. And then it's kind of like the character, it's not really ground because there's a reflection. It's almost like walking on water. Uh, so is it water, or ground? Or maybe it's the water, you can't really tell if there's something wrong with the ground here. Um, and that kind of points to sort of like everything's blended together. Like in the Jaws picture, it's really clear water and then stark sky. Whereas here, the below the ground and the sky are all kind of blurred, like no boundaries. And that kind of fits with what I know about the show, that the characters uh, kind of end up in the upside down without even intending. They just kind of pop there. And then, like, right here, these strange light things, um, almost like these are the moon or planets or stars that are right here, kind of parallel with the ground. It's kind of wrong. I'm going to write stars, lights, whereas here, this is kind of, if that's the sky, this is how things are supposed to be. So it's blurred boundaries, maybe, ground, sky, below ground, uh, and then the gender, no gender to the figure. And then this is maybe plant and animal. So that's sort of some blurring of things. Let me read this here. This text here. So in Jaws, it's just kind of okay. Here's the movie based on the book, but here, don't go in the void, which seems kind of weird. Maybe a void is kind of a blurred boundary. But it's also like, how do they not go in the void? And isn't the phrase like, don't go into the void? So don't go in the void. But they can kind of end up in there regardless. So something else I'm kind of seeing that goes along with that maybe is like with Jaws, I mean, she could just get out of the water. You don't have to go swimming in the ocean. Whereas here you have to walk, um, and stuff. So there's kind of like no escape. Everything's dark. Um, and I'm wondering if that kind of idea of no escape, kind of hopelessness, because this is really bleak. It's kind of the theme of the show with nature and like, because I get the idea in the show. I mean, it's not really clear, but I think like the problems with the plants and the upside down, I think they're caused by humans, by the military and 11 superpowers and stuff. So maybe it's kind of like man messing with nature. Uh, but I'm not sure. I need to, I don't know, I have a friend I can ask uh, about this. And I'm wondering with Jaws, so I don't know anything about it, but I wonder if there's like sort of themes with environment, or if there's something that humans did to cause the shark, and maybe that's a point of comparison, that humans did something to create this terror in both cases. Uh, but that's going to require, I'm going to have to go and do a little more reading and research there.